Audubon 2456.
Oh my God, it's State of the Save. And we are back with part 2 of Grim Fandango. Thank you everybody who listened to the first episode. We do appreciate it. We got some really good feedback. Michael, how you feel about the feedback on the first episode?
Really good. We got a bunch of thank you to the Grim Fandango subreddit, still kicking it after all this time of being there for one video game.
That's our niche. Those subreddits are like barely hanging on. That's where we go and we dominate on.
The Dead Space sub, the Life is Strange sub, although the Metal Gear sub is still very, very, very active to this day.
They still have feelings on that game. That's posting like 500 posts a day still.
That's one subreddit where you can go and say, this entire game is trash, and people are like, you know, that I respect that opinion, and I'll listen to that opinion.
Yeah, you can talk junk about Metal Gear on the Metal Gear subreddit, and they won't do anything.
Oh, they'll upvote it.
Yeah, they'll upvote it. They're like, yeah, I agree.
And the same post will be like, this is the best game ever, and you won't get like a million more upvotes, so it all works out.
I'm for this kind of mutual exclusive, just admitting that the game's both terrible and great at the same time.
More fandom should be like the Metal Gear fandom.
Yeah. Nick, how you feel about us being the most dangerous podcast on the internet?
I agree with it wholeheartedly.
Thank you. We're going to t-shirts now on sale at State of the Save.
When the glass breaks, you never know what's going to happen.
That was my favorite bit from last episode. I don't know how many people even like cared about that, but when the glass broke, I nearly crashed my car because I was listening to it on the way to work as like to make sure it sounded good before we posted it. And the glass broke for the first time, and I kid you not, I almost flipped my whole truck laughing. Because I was like, that's just for me. No one else cares about that as much as I do. But what we all care about, you see that segue? It's high quality.
Yep.
We all care about, wait, that yep was not really supportive.
It gets better when you point it out, too.
Yeah, it does.
Every other return of phrase does.
It really does. We all care about some video games going around. Michael, you play some video games?
I did play some video games. So a lot of, I'm sure a lot of the people on this who listen to this podcast have Xbox Gamepass because that's where like Grim Fandango and a lot of the other games we played are. And they recently added all of the EA Play catalog to Xbox Gamepass. So I dabbled in a few of those games. Star Wars Battlefront, The Trial of Squadrons. I won't go deep into those and explain how the era mixing in Star Wars Battlefront makes me want to pull my hair out. But, yeah, hold on. But I do want to discuss 2 games from there that I played. The first being Mirror's Edge Catalyst, a prequel reboot thing from the first Mirror's Edge. One of my favorite, like, underrated games that every time we have a lull in the Discord, I'm like, hey, we should totally play Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge is a great game, guys. Catalyst is fine. It is a perfectly serviceable reboot prequel thing for Mirror's Edge.
When did this come out?
This was 2015, and it was from the original creators, DICE.
Okay, so here's the weird thing. Like, Mirror's Edge is held as like a cult classic.
Yes.
I don't remember much about this making any waves at all when it came out.
It did not. And it is because a lot of the like charm and heart of the game, I would say, is missing because there's a kind of like story and like the way it's told in Mirror's Edge is kind of cool. Like the cutscenes go to like for like this 2D like kind of flash animation meets anime style for some of the cutscenes, and here it's just all the cutscenes are all in like first person Call of Duty from face perspective. And
so in the first game, because I played the first game for I think like a grand total of 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The first game, does it do like the comic book? It's like the comic book style cutscenes. So you're saying this is more like a generic, like, hey, it's a cutscene, we're gonna
pretty much. But the story, even like though it was good in the first Marriages, was not what I was playing. The gameplay is king in that game. The wall running, the free running, and just keeping up momentum. Well, the first Mirror's Edge was very much level by level, every encounter is handcrafted kind of thing. Catalyst is completely open world, and it is mostly sectioned off in some ways. So like near the beginning of the game, I was not enjoying it because for 2 main reasons. One, you're going through the back and forth between missions. You don't have fast travel quite yet, so you're just free running through the same environments over and over again. So, and they lock a lot of the free running techniques on a skill tree that you had in the first game. So I didn't unlock the ability to turn around mid like wall run until like probably 5-6 hours into this game. So just they lock back. Being a sequel, you expect, or prequel, well, another iteration of Mirror's Edge, you expect it to iterate on
The first game.
the first game and what made it great. So, but near the end of this game, the missions get a lot more interesting. Once you unlock that full momentum skill tree, movement feels great. You get a grappling hook, and that just feels good because you can only use it on certain areas. So, and it's mainly used to like connect areas of the map and everything. But when you use it, you can pick up speed. You can like drop kick a guy while you're free running and not lose momentum at all. Another thing they expand upon greatly is the combat system. The combat system feels good. It's fast. It's fluid. You can kick a dude into another dude, and they'll both stumble and fall while you're running, and it just feels good.
How does combat work in the Mirror Edge stuff? Is it more like a melee-based kind of thing?
Completely melee-based in this game. In the first game, you could knock a gun out of a guy's hands or steal it and then shoot him, but the gunplay did not feel good in the first game at all. They completely did away with that, so Faith can't use a gun in the second game. I guess she just... Kicking dudes off buildings is fine, but shooting him, I guess, is...
weird.
Goes a little across the line, but...
It goes against the parkour code.
It does. It goes very much against the runner code.
Wait a second. Nick, are you part of the parkour union?
No.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
No, but I can appreciate somebody who can jump off of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
I, too, appreciate people who jump off of stuff.
But ultimately, the games itself is pretty good. It doesn't hold a candle to the first game, but I'm glad I played it. That last mission in particular does some really cool stuff with you working your way up a massively tall skyscraper that is collapsing around you. So that some of that stuff, even though I've maybe just spoiled a set piece, but like I'm trying to emphasize that like if you want to play this game, see it through because there's some really cool stuff at the end that makes it worth playing. And since you can play it on Gamepass, it's like, yeah, if you have time.
Did either of you guys play Ghost Runner?
Not yet.
So I sit here and I listen to you talk about this, and then I think to myself, it seems like Ghost Runner is kind of a similar thing in some ways, like a momentum-based, quote. That's like a shooter slash, it's a little bit more actiony, I think. But I just wonder, like, would it be better to go back and play the Mirror's Edge franchise if you haven't played it, or just try to play Ghost Runner? Because I hear good things about Ghost Runner.
I do want to check that out, and I'll feel like that'll be something I'll have more of an opinion on once I definitely play that game.
Yeah, I just was thinking about it because, like, when you were talking about it, it just reminded me a lot of what people talk about when they talk about Ghost Runner, which is a game that I feel like, for what kind of has like a generic looking title, and
that's the only thing I was thinking is that it just sounds like the game that everybody's playing on Law and Order.
Yeah, it's a Law and Order. Well, also it's like a cyberpunk game that I remember all the YouTube like trailer like markings were like cyberpunk free runner, Ghost Runner, or whatever.
It's always Mirror's Edge meets Hotline Miami meets Cyberpunk 2077.
But they always put the cyberpunk in there first because it caught me like twice where I clicked on it by mistake, being like, "Oh crap, is that new cyberpunk stuff?" And I clicked on it. I was like, "Ah, I hate this." But so apparently it's pretty good, but the marketing on that was too shady to make me like. I still want to call out that marketing.
I mean, it works because we're talking about it and we haven't played it. So.
But no, it works. But then I'm also sitting here being like, "Yeah, some shady marketing." Other than that, what you play?
The another thing I wanted to check out was Madden 18 story mode. Just because I'm the type of person, if I hear that you put a story mode into your dumb football simulation video game, I'm like, I gotta check this out. And you know what? Someone spent a lot of time to make sure they got the writing and the characters right. There's dialogue trees. And there's story-based decisions. You're not playing football through a lot of it. You're making decisions that affect your draft score so you could get in the NFL and what team you get into in the NFL.
Okay, I'm going to stop you.
Yes.
Let's just do a poll real quick. Nick, do you play really any sports games?
No, I was just gonna say this fell on the other side of the spectrum of like Star Wars and sports, where I just have nothing to say because I don't understand anything. What is the draft? I don't understand.
Michael, other than this game, do you play a lot of sports games?
No, I liked Blitz the League because you can break a dude's femur and it shows it. So that was pretty cool.
It shows it.
It shows it.
No, I mean it zooms in into like X-ray vision, and you see a dude's femur break as you tackle him.
It's like
fatalities.
Yeah, it's like the Mortal Kombat fatality.
Well, it's actually the Mortal Kombat developers. So Midway did Blitz the League. So yeah,
I mean that works out pretty well.
Yeah.
I play a pretty good amount of sports games, and like when you talk about story mode in that kind of thing,
I think you would love this because you grew up watching a lot of sports movies, right?
Oh yes.
Do you want a playable sports movie? Because that's exactly what this is. Everything from like the coach going, "I see a lot of potential in you, and I think you can work this out, man." And you're like, "I'm trying, coach. I'm trying." That's this story mode.
I did a story mode in NBA 2020.
Oh no.
All right. And that story mode is horrible.
Yes.
Because you can't play basketball for that game for like the first 4 hours or whatever. Because it's like, here's Rosario Dawson talking to you about how you got to get your grades up.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Rosario Dawson's awesome. But I'm also there to play some basketball. And like, there was like, I kid you not, 20-30 minute scenes of like, hey man, when do I actually get to play some basketball? And then you play basketball for about like 2 minutes. And then you'll go right back into the long cut scenes. And so I'm signed up on this sports game to play some basketball. I'm not signed up to talk about getting my grades up or Rosario Dawson or Idris Elba, who's my coach. There's some really good...
Awesome.
What?
That's a star set of cats right there.
It is.
How did you not enjoy this?
Because even then, though, like... it would be okay if it was like measured out a little bit more. But there was like 20-30 minute scenes that was like, I am never going to play basketball in this basketball video game.
There's a little bit of that in Madden 18, but again, there's like dialogue decisions that you make along the way, and so it's surprisingly well written. Like the characters are fleshed out, their motivations are clear. There's a stereotypical, like in a sports movie, there's a best friend character who's with you along the way.
He's going to die in a car wreck.
No. But you would think, like, oh man, he's going to get jealous of you, like, rising above the ranks and working your way. They kind of play that like it's going to, and then every single time, he's like, nah, man, I got you, I understand. You're the real star of the show here. I'm just here to back you up. And you're just like, man, this is cool.
So basically, he's just like, hey, man, I know I'm not the cool guy, so you be the cool guy.
Right, basically.
You know, is that really that realistic? I mean, I'm so proud of your success. I'm just here to pat you on the back. There is the best friend character in the NBA 2K20 story mode.
Does it become your rival?
I did not get that far. I only played one game in the NBA in that story mode because after spending like 4 hours just getting to that part, then finally I'm like, okay, I play some basketball. I'm like, yeah, the basketball in this ain't that great, and I didn't finish.
Yeah, but if you want a playable sports movie, Madden 18 is definitely a feel-good kind of romp through like the NFL, and like it does some,
you know, what the NFL really
it does
needs right now.
It makes some surprising critiques of like how the NFL treats like young and rookie players and everything. So like I was very surprised that they like went there on a couple of occasions where I'm like, man, this is surprisingly deep. So
okay.
It's probably not the best story mode out there, but it's something. It was like this probably shouldn't be in here, but it is, and it's kind of great, and it's so dumb that someone was like, hey, you know what Madden needs? It needs a story mode, man. Okay. Like a 6-hour full single-player campaign. And I was like, I have to check that out, and I'm glad I did. So if you want a playable sports movie,
Madden
18. Tom Brady on the cover.
Is Rosario Dawson in there?
I did not see Rosario Dawson.
Probably not going to play it then. No, I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I don't know if that's what I'm coming to when I'm coming to a sports game.
I just like dumb things.
No,
like, I have to appreciate it.
Nick, tell me what things you into.
So the only thing I really got into is the new, I guess it's not new, but Tetris Effect is now on Gamepass.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Tetris is great.
Tetris is great. And Tetris Effect Connected, I guess is what it's called, is the best Tetris.
So this is the Tetris where you can play it with the Kinect?
No.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, If we want to talk best Tetris,
I visibly killed Nick with that joke.
No, but so it was a PlayStation exclusive, I believe. I originally played through all of it in the PSVR or whatever, which was pretty cool. But then when they started making TVs with HDR and stuff, that kind of simulates the same thing that the PSVR is trying to put out there. It's still like a really cool experience. For what I understand, the campaign in air quotes is like largely untouched, so it's still pretty much the same thing. But they did add multiplayer. So if you're really trying to get obsessed with something that ultimately has nothing to do with, you know, your real life, Tetris Attack or multiplayer Tetris or whatever you're talking about, that's that one thing that like you can get really sweaty about that has no business being that competitive.
It's like I play a lot of Tetris 99.
that's also a good Tetris.
And so I know the feeling of being like, I am very angry about my performance on Tetris.
I like Tetris 99, but it's, to me, maybe there is like rhyme or reason to it, and I'm not clued into it, but it just seems like you could just kind of, like you're either going to stomp somebody or you're going to get dogpiled on. But this is like,
I mean,
this
that's
is
pretty
the
accurate.
heat of battle, bro. Like, you know who you're sending those lines to.
I think the thing with Tetris 99 that makes me mad is that literally I don't think I've ever got past like 12. So
Really?
I know I've never won a game. I've played massive amounts of it, and I will have like literally almost a perfect Tetris game going, and then it would just go like, here's 26 lines, and then it's over, it's done. So I always feel like I feel like I'm cursed at like level 12 is like the highest I can get to.
You got to get those T-spins in, boy.
I get those T-spins in, boy.
I feel like, I think you're just trying to play it up for the show right now.
I don't know where those T-spins are, man.
I knew it.
I got no clue what the T-spins are. What are the T-spins?
If we want to check out best Tetris, you guys need to play Puyo Puyo Tetris. It is a mixture of Tetris and Puyo Puyo. You can play them both on the same board at the same time.
I can barely play Tetris on the
It's
same
wonderful.
board. Oh, man.
And there's also a game mode where it's timed and you go back and forth between a Puyo Puyo board and a Tetris board. So you can be doing terrible at Puyo Puyo and great at Tetris. And it's...
I don't know what that is.
Have you ever played Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine?
No.
No.
Okay, we don't have time for this.
Nick, save us. Anything else you've been playing other than Tetris?
That is all other than the Grim Fandango.
Hey, I've been playing Grim Fandango too.
Wow.
But before we talk about Grim Fandango, I have something sitting on my Xbox. And I need somebody to tell me not to play it.
Is it WWE again?
No, I've already broke the cycle with that one.
Okay, good.
I went to the therapy. No, this is Mass Effect Andromeda.
No, don't play it.
Oh, no, Eric.
It's sitting there staring at me. If you don't know, Mass Effect 2 is probably one of my favorite video games of all time.
It is my favorite video game of all time.
I love Mass Effect 2. I love Mass Effect 1. I think Mass Effect 3 is pretty good. I never... Yeah, I can see an argument why you would disagree, but I like it still.
I mean, yeah, I said yeah.
But Mass Effect Andromeda is one that I was smart enough not to play when it came out.
I pre-ordered
But
that.
now,
I asked my mom for that for my birthday, and she got it for me.
how
I'm
did
sorry.
that go for you?
I was just sad. Like, I'm not going to tell her it was not a good game, you know? But
Hey, so how you been playing that video game I bought you? You know, that brand new video game.
it came out like 2 days before my birthday, too.
Oh,
It's
man.
really bad. It was like a new game.
Couldn't even get the sale price.
Thanks a lot, guys.
I've been staring at it.
Do you want to experience the 5 stages of grief in 45 hours? Denial. Oh, it's just another Mass Effect game. This is gonna be good. And then, what's next? Sadness, where you're like, oh no, it's not like Mass Effect at all. Bargaining, going, maybe if I just put a little more time in, maybe the Mass Effectiness will happen. Then anger, and then acceptance that happens after you beat it. Going, maybe that wasn't good, and maybe Mass Effect is dead forever.
I have to know. That's the only problem. I don't know. I have to know. And my question is, how fast do I get to the really bad stuff? Because if I'm going to play this, I want to get to the bad stuff
It's
fast.
not that it's aggressively bad. I wouldn't say Mass Effect Andromeda is a full-on terrible game. The problem is...
Nick's eyes says he disagrees.
Yeah, I
with
disagree
you.
with that.
The problem is that... Do you want to play like a 6 out of 10 Mass Effect game? It just hurts you knowing there are so much better things than this. It's so aggressively that it makes the whole thing worse and just feels like it's wasting your time for 45 hours. I 100%ed that game.
Why?
Because I have no self-control and I love Mass Effect.
These are okay.
100% planet completion and everything. All to get a message from your dad. Yeah, I'm sorry. You hear a message.
From my dad? How's my dad in Mass Effect?
I spoiled. I'm not gonna say what the message is, but you get a message from your dad. That's all it amounts to. There is nothing on the end of the other side of that game. It is not worth seeing. Don't waste your time with Mass Effect Andromeda.
Is there one mention of Commander Shepard?
Vague mentions every now and then. You pick if you had a male or female Shepard.
Just so they know which pronoun to use.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's kind of lame. They don't even talk about like, Commander Shepard is
They
over
kind
here.
of sweep, but the idea is they leave to go to Andromeda before Mass Effect 3 starts, but after Mass Effect 2. So that way they're like, we don't have to touch anything of Mass Effect 3. Da-da-da-da-da.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't waste your time.
Probably still going
all
to
the cool all the cool species that you want to see, like the Quarians and everybody, like all the like lower tier species that you don't see a whole lot of, they're all on a ship that's like, oh, they haven't got here yet, just so you don't have to animate those people.
That's pretty stupid.
But you see, if you want Turians and Asari, Mass Effect Andromeda.
I like a couple Asari, and I like one Turian, so, I mean, maybe that's worth it. I don't know,
Also,
man.
there's no Garrus Vicarian, so that's... Do you want 45 hours of Mass Effect without Garrus Vicarian?
You know, one of my favorite parts of Mass Effect is when you just sit on top of something and shoot stuff with Garrus. Like, it's just like, they want to go out there and shoot stuff off top of this ship. I'm probably still going to waste some time on that. But let's talk about a game that was not a waste of time.
Grim Fandango.
Grim Fandango. Man, 21 minutes in, we're just now getting to Grim Fandango.
What a pleasant game.
It was a pleasant game. This was a game that, here, before we start, let's go around. Nick, what's your feelings on this Grim Fandango?
I like the back half of this game a lot better than the first 2 chapters that we played.
Yeah, I think the first chapter is the weakest chapter of all 4.
I agree with that, yeah.
It's still not fun. It's not fun, dude.
He roped us in.
I think that I gave up on trying to solve puzzles myself.
Yeah, exactly.
So what you're saying is, this is not fun.
No, I did not solve hard. I think I solved like maybe one puzzle of all of these by myself. I am pretty sure that I had to use the guide across the board. And I know that people who really enjoy this game might be like, that's really, you're not experiencing it. But there's no way I would have experienced this game to the end if I didn't use a guide.
Exactly. That's where I'm at, too.
And what I enjoyed about this game was not those puzzles, because I still stick to it. Some of those puzzles make zero sense to me. I don't understand the logic. And I would imagine that if I was playing this the week it came out, I think I would have been lucky to get out of the Department of Death office building, to be 100% honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what I'm playing this game for. Michael, how do you feel about this game?
I think I'm right there with you. I used the guide exclusively in this second half, especially for some terrible, just all-around bad puzzles. But that's not why I'm playing this game. I'm playing it for the characters. I'm playing it for the outlandish situations and for the story and to see what happens to Manny.
Nick, did you try to hang in there and do puzzles by yourself, or did you do the guide?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Well, I'm just saying, the reason why I'm asking is, like, I don't think there was any way I could ever recommend this game to anybody without saying just play it with the guide. But at the same time, I would recommend this game to pretty much anybody with the guide. Like, I know that sounds weird, but, this game has a fun story, it has good characters, it has interesting locations, interesting, situations.
It almost plays like an adult Pixar movie, in a way, just like how all the characters kind of are very well-defined and everything. It's, like, absolutely worth playing to see this. It's very imaginative, the world itself is really realized and great.
I could see that being true. I mean, like, the stuff underwater follows, like, Pixar logic of, like, and now we're just walking on the bottom of the sea, there's no, like, we don't have to spend 20 minutes explaining to you why we're doing this. We're just going to go ahead and do it because it's a fun romp.
Yeah. If you like well-told stories with a lot of whimsy and like some really like cool moments that like there's some radical changes in like tone throughout this game, but it never loses its identity at all.
My favorite thing that I thought about when this game was going on was the point that Nick brought up, I believe, last time, which is that Manny succeeds at almost everything he does, if not for the fact they were holding him back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, when you learn, like, okay, you start off in Chapter 3 on the boat, and he's now captain of the boat. But even later on in the game, when you talk to the captain at the location from Chapter 2... Rubicava.
Yeah.
He references that, like, the reason he got that boat was he traded this boat for this, and he traded this for that. Like, Manny is just a naturally good businessman. And you really see that throughout this whole game, that Manny succeeds in almost everything he does.
He traded the boat for polar bears so that they could cross the ice.
Yeah, but like it's like
he traded half a boat. Like he didn't even have the full boat.
Yeah, he's just hustling. Manny's just hustling. But like that point that Nick brought up really sold me on Manny as a character at the end, because I was like, yeah, he's right. Manny, if not held back by this system, would probably have already been like the head of the entire city, by the time. One thing that I did not like, that did not get... We'll get to this chapter 4, but...
I think I know what you're about to say, but...
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
They never discuss why Manny was where he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or why he doesn't know why he's there.
Yeah, and they never discuss... Like, it's never hinted at that Manny secretly has a dark past.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you never get... Like, I thought at the end we would either find out that Manny had done something bad in his life, and that's how he ended up where he was, or my theory was somebody stole his ticket.
And that's implied at the end that someone stole his ticket because he has a ticket that attaches itself to him while he's at the gate.
But he says that's given to him by the department as like a...
as a severance package.
Yeah,
kind of
it's
thing.
like a severance package. So, like, yeah, because at the end I was like... The only thing I was hoping was when he opens up the briefcase full of tickets, that one of them would have hopped out to him. Yeah. And I was like, God, that would have made all the sense in the world. Manny, his ticket was stolen. That's why he doesn't know why he's here, and that's why he doesn't... but it didn't really do that. And if it did, I missed it. But that's the biggest thing that was let down about this story, is I really wish they would have got into a little bit more of... Just explain why Manny was where he was and why he doesn't remember why he's there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thread that I feel like is left open. That
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe it's like I don't need everything wrapped up cleanly, but in that one particular thing, they make a big point in chapter 1 of explaining that Manny doesn't know why he's there. I feel like by chapter 4, I should find out at least why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not the end of the world. Chapter 3 starts off with a fun sequence on the boat. This goes back to puzzles I wouldn't have figured out if it wasn't for the guide.
The anchor puzzle, you mean?
Yeah. I mean,
even with the guide, I had to look up a YouTube video going, I swear I'm doing the steps right.
The guide doesn't do the directions right.
Yeah, one of them is wrong.
No, 2 of them are wrong.
Okay.
2 of them. You are right, this one's wrong, but then one more I found was wrong. Where he says right instead of left, or he says left instead of right. And when you're doing puzzles that have things on both sides of something, that's a really big deal,
Oh, you mean was it the crane, going back and forth with the crane?
He might have been wrong there.
Yeah. Well, that puzzle was just so confusing anyway that I was just guessing if I was like, is this right? Does this seem right? I don't know.
But there's a couple of times where the guide is not completely correct. I mean, all in all, the guide's really good.
I mean, we made it through this game, so obviously it didn't hold us back in any way.
Yeah, but there's a couple of puzzles I had to do the same thing as, like, bring up a YouTube video and just watch somebody. But the problem is with this game, it's a lot of times those YouTube videos are like somebody for 15 minutes going through be like, I don't know how to do this. And if it's not like got a guy like speaking into a mic saying like, I'm trying to figure this one out, or I don't know how to do this, you can't skip. So like a lot of times I kept watching and being like, eventually he's going to show me how to do this. And then you watch him do it wrong for like 27, 28 times. The one case in point, when you're going on the ship, eventually you rip the ship in half and then you sink the ship. You meet a character down there that is this guy who's literally just walking across the bottom of the ocean.
His boat never came, so we just started walking.
Yeah, he just started walking.
I mean, you can't blame him for that.
But you're supposed to like get Gladys to grab him.
Oh, Chapito, yeah.
And I could not figure out what to do there because I kept getting Manny to grab the light, and he would just wrestle it away and walk off. But what you have to do is like grab the light and then grab Gladys to pull him up.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't figure that out. I watched that video for like 20 minutes watching some other guy. Like he kept restarting his save over and over, being like, "I think I broke it."
Yeah, because if you do the conversation, he just sings "This Little Light of Mine" and just walks around the entire ship.
Yeah, that's
and
the
an
worst
unskippable thing when
Yeah,
you like
that's
it. No, I didn't want to watch this again. Come back, Chapito.
I watched him walk around there like 4 or 5 times. I ain't gonna lie. He's a fun character, and I like the scene when you're talking about like the sea monsters, and he's like, "Oh, them." He turns the light, and there's like a whole mess of them. But also, if you stand there, Manny tries to smoke. Like he smokes.
Yeah.
How you smoking underwater? Explain.
Why are you looking at me when it comes to explaining things?
Did we just do this whole thing where we don't have to justify this? Pixar logic.
I have limitations to my abilities to ignore these things.
How does SpongeBob have a campfire underwater?
That's a very good trick question.
They also go to a beach underwater.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that actually is a real thing.
Ain't it like a tar pit or something? It's not it's not like a
goo,
normal,
they call it.
Yeah, it's not like a normal water beach. It's like a gooey beach or something.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, let's just go on SpongeBob. I do like the fact that you just straight up like use this guy for bait at one point.
Yeah, that seemed a bit mean spirited.
Like you stick him in the seaweed stuff and let Squid grab him, but it's just like, yeah, Manny gets a little bit maybe Manny's dark side comes out a little bit there. He's like, screw this guy. We're gonna let the Squid get him.
I mean, all jokes aside, I feel like that is maybe like the only kind of justification that they give for Manny being there, because there's several times where Manny is just like, nope, I'm just gonna screw this guy over in either small or insurmountable ways to get to like my ends. I mean, you talk Celso into just like selling away his life savings just so you can get in a room with what's his name?
With
Hector.
Hector, yep. I mean, pour coffee on a dude. I mean,
Manny is like, he's chaotic good, right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if I would say chaotic good. I mean,
chaotic neutral, maybe.
I would say, yeah, chaotic neutral. He's out to serve his own means, which never really align with the good things that happen to other people, except for Meche in this situation.
Yo, he puts it all on the line for Meche.
But I mean, you could also make the argument that that's only just to satisfy his own conscience. So
yeah, he's trying to make up. He's trying to make up for the fact that he was screwing up.
Daddy let her go.
Yeah, you can make that argument. So yeah, maybe that is why Manny's there. He's just like a chaotic neutral kind of guy, and he's, this is the price he has to pay in his penance. What the whole first part of chapter 3 I really enjoyed with the underwater sequence. When you go to the edge of the ward, which is where Domino is running this like
kind of a sweatshop.
Yeah, it's like
thing.
It's like a factory underwater mining operation. He's got his enforcer, which is a giant squid that pedals a submarine around, which I thought was kind of fun. That's when things get a little bit less enjoyable for this chapter for me. I like kind of Meche's and Manny's interactions with each other.
Oh, the character interactions are in this bit is great. Domino as like the main antagonist of this chapter works really well because I think it kind of shows how Domino is like a hard evil version of Manny. Like he's the top of what he is, but he's the top of the food chain there. But he had to like backstab and like steal to get to where he is versus while Manny
and literally go as far away as he can from his actual boss to be the boss.
Yeah, exactly.
He
literally the edge of the earth.
If we're using like the D&D thing, like if Manny's chaotic neutral, like Domino's like neutral evil, because he's there for his own means, but he's not like, he doesn't even like, even with all the stuff Manny's done to try to like him and Manny's fight back and forth, he doesn't even really like hate Manny that much. He's just like,
he doesn't have any grudge towards Manny. It seems like it's just like, you're you're small fry compared to me. I don't have to worry about you.
Yeah, listen to me, and maybe you too can one day be big like I am. Meche doesn't really make a ton of sense why she threw a bottle at your head. They kind of just
like she says it's because
she was trying to protect him
from
because she
falling into the trap that he eventually found himself in, anyways.
Yeah,
but she sounded angry in that, so I don't know. But I guess that was a.
My favorite bit in this whole thing: you acquire a gun. And you give it to Meche, who instantly turns the gun on you. And it's like, why are you giving this loaded gun to this woman that you barely sort of know? But I do like the fact that Meche instantly turns the gun on you, like, oh, thanks. Hey, hands up.
I think the point was that you give it to her because it wasn't loaded, and she's like, surprise, I've got a round in my hat, and she turns it on you.
She's like, oh, I'm always carrying 45 caliber ammunition. The kids in the cage, I feel like there should have been a little bit more with them. Like, you talk to them, they don't really...
And they show up at the end to, like, help you get back on the boat, but ultimately, like, it's just one conversation.
Yeah, I feel like I thought they were going to be, like, another main character, but they kind of become background characters very, very quickly. Gladys, once again, needs help. The story of this game... That's the one thing I can kind of get behind Nick's feelings on Gladys.
Yeah, I would have left him at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I love Gladys.
I do like the fact also that they're faking a lot of the tickets. Like
they're all counterfeit.
Yeah, they're counterfeit tickets. This whole chapter is pretty good. I like what is going on in the beginning of the chapter more than the second part.
I can see that, yeah.
But the best part of this whole chapter, this whole thing, is the showdown at the sub.
Yes.
Which I was hoping was going to be a little bit more dramatic than what it was. But it's a cool scene of Manny with they've got the scythes standing on top of the
before you go stab it, you could just go over there and hit A, and they'll do like a little choreographed section before you get punched back. I was like, you have to do that a couple times. You gotta make this fight more cinematic. I mean, you could just run and stab the eye, but it's like, no, this is like a third act fight in a movie. You kind of gotta let it play out a bit.
And the scythe is still my favorite thing about this game, how it folds out. Like, it's just this
very practical, collapsible knife.
I did have issues with the puzzle at in the vault. For
getting in that vault, oh, man, that was terrible. I didn't know which way to have it facing at all, because the guide said that, like, have it faced a certain way towards the edge of the cage. So, but I didn't know which way it was referring to.
I just assumed it was like the flat part.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you a ton of feedback to tell you if you're doing it right or wrong or not.
Well, so if you pull the handle when it's wrong, it'll just say, I don't know what it says, but it resets it, and he's just like, I guess I didn't put the right combination in. But if you set it up, like 2 or 3 times I did this, if you set it up where it's lined up, he's like, I had it lined up all perfectly. And that's when you know you have to use the scythe.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's still the second worst puzzle in this game. The first being the wheelbarrow puzzle and the forest in the first game, because that's literally just guesswork.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
I can think of a couple more in the first chapter.
The wheelbarrow thing is like bad because you know what you need to do, but it's like the game's fault that you can't execute what you know you need to do. So that just got on my nerves.
This is not a game for precision timing, no.
But it does ask it of you.
Yeah, in that part especially, it's like, hey, you gotta go over there and grab this real quick, and that's not what this game is good at. The puzzle in the vault, I did have a little bit of a hard time focusing on exactly getting the when you drag the axe to drop. I kept dropping it what I thought was the exact same spot, but you have to like hit it almost at an angle. Like, the axe has to hit it in, like, the dead-on spot to break the floor. It won't let you, like, be off that much to do it. Yeah. So that was frustrating, because I hate puzzles where I know the answer, but it won't let me execute it.
Oh, yeah,
like, that's absolutely the biggest problem I have with that. It's like, I know the answer. I figured out your game here.
Or I read this guide.
Yeah. or I read this guide, and that guy told me all about how to figure out your game. But that's very frustrating to me when I'm sitting there like, come on, man, I know what the answer is. Just let me complete it.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of thoughts on chapter 3 before we move to the big chapter 4.
I liked it. I was surprised, like, once we got to Chapter 3, how fast the story started moving again, because it really felt like Chapter 2 kind of was, like, its own separate... It made Chapter 2 stand out more as, like, its own separate thing versus Chapter 3. So, like, when the story started moving, I was like, oh, yeah, there's all these, like, hanging threads going on, like, playing it after some time between the first half and the second half of this game, being like, oh, yeah, there's a lot of dangling threads that need to get answered. And once we get into Chapter 4, I feel like most of the dangling threads were answered in a pretty satisfying way.
I'm happy that the game doesn't do what I thought it was going to do, where each chapter was going to be set in a single location.
That's what I was thinking too.
Well, I was like, okay, so 1's the city, right? 2 is basically the entire Chupacabra, what is it? Say it.
Rubacava.
Rubacabra.
Oh, Chupacabra.
Whatever. It's the Casablanca rip, man.
Yeah.
And then I like, okay, is this going to be set on the ship? And then Chapter 4 would be set I'm glad it doesn't do that. Mm-hmm. Because it would have been, I think, a little bit too much to just do one location per chapter.
Because then you have to, like, relearn the locate. You're, like, learning a new space. So.
And you don't... It was fun in Chapter 2 because that location was really cool. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't want to spend an hour on the boat.
That's what I was expecting that chapter to be. But once we got off the boat, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, this is going to be more kind of linear structured. And it pretty much has that linear structure through the rest of this game.
Yeah. Nick, kind of, what are you thinking? How you feeling?
I feel the same way.
Okay.
I think we're all on the same page on this game. We really like it, but we don't like the puzzles.
Yeah. So. Moving right along. Year 4 jumps to basically Manny's been leading this now expedition because he rescues everybody that's at the mining prison camp.
The edge of the world.
Edge of the world. And I like that it jumped straight to him getting to, like, basically what is the entry into the ninth underworld. Ninth underworld. I do like talking to the guy who's, like, the guy who runs the whole place. Like, he's an interesting little character. But
this part blew my mind in, like, so many different ways. So if you don't get a ticket to the train, you have to walk the whole way.
Yes.
They walked the whole way. And now they're still sitting in this, like, impassable train thing.
Okay.
And then, on top of that, not only is this hell, or, like, limbo, you get to limbo, then you can die and, like, just stop existing, but then you can also just go straight to real hell on a train. Like, they went straight to real hell. There was even a devil.
Okay. Yeah, the devil jumped out and ate that train full of number 9 tickets because Manny straight up was like, oh, yeah, there's a train coming, but they're all counterfeit tickets. And it's like, oh, yeah, we know. We've been dealing with that.
It just looks like the robot devil from Futurama.
Oh, man.
And then, like, you see the lawyer from Chapter 2 on that train just drinking a martini, and all of a sudden he gets sucked into the hell world. So that was pretty good. Like, okay, I guess this problem solves itself.
Let's run this through again because Nick got a point. Even if they didn't have tickets, because they say they'll put into the temporary holding area because they don't have tickets. But even if they didn't have tickets on the number 9, they still got there after walking.
Yeah.
So shouldn't that bypass the whole system and they be able to go on to the afterlife?
Yeah, but the problem is that the people who bought the number 9 tickets have straight up stole them. So they committed, like, the ultimate crime in the afterlife is why they went straight to hell.
I'm talking about Meche. Like, okay, wouldn't Meche be able to just go to the 9th level?
And be like, all right, I'm here.
Because she's here. She got there. Same thing with, like, okay, so I imagine little short dude who we bought.
Bruno.
Yeah, I imagine Bruno probably didn't get to go to the 9th level. But he got there by a different means.
And Chipito straight up walks. He straight up just goes in. Like, did you guys see Chipito in this chapter?
I did not.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you go, once you can walk, I went into, like, the waiting area, and you keep walking to where you see the train entrance. And you run to Chipito, and he's just there walking in, like, the little pond area. And you talk to him, and he said, "Oh, I guess it's my time to go then." So he just, like, sings This Little Light of Mine as he walks through the tunnel.
Huh. Does he walk through the train tunnel?
Yeah. He just steps on the train tracks and just walks through the tunnel.
Okay.
And then you can go there as Manny.
I wonder how long that tunnel is.
Yeah, is it just like an instantaneous, like you're in the ninth underworld now, or is it like
Here's my question, because the train comes through that tunnel not long after that. Does he get hit by a train, and does that count as he goes to a ninth level, or does he die?
I think it's more like a instantaneous thing once you pass through the tunnel is my guess. But then
after you get hit by the train, you're instantaneously going to die.
There's also a bit where you can go up to the tunnel as Manny and then just click on the tunnel, and it says Manny says he was like, I could just, it's right here, I could just go in, but he's like, I have to save the others first.
Okay.
So like,
I wish I would have clicked on that, because that does show a little bit about Manny. Like,
yeah, he was like, I'm right here where I need to be for so long. He's like, I could just go and leave this behind, but I was like, no, I gotta help the others first.
Because we gotta go save Glottis. Mm-hmm. I do like the fact that there's like a cult that worships Glottis now. Like,
I don't think he deserves that kind of like widespread affection, but
I will not stand for this Glottis slander.
I don't really like Glottis that much after all. I do love meeting the guy packed in the coffin.
When Bruno makes it, he's like, "You didn't give me a book or anything to read in this 4-year journey. You just left me in this box. I had nothing, man."
It kind of seems like he got out ahead though. Like all he had to do was like lay in the box
for 4 years though.
Yeah, but like as opposed to like getting destroyed by flaming beavers or. I would rather sit in a box for 4 years than walk for 4 years.
But you could have made it to Rubacabra. Rubacabra seems alright. You could just watch horse races, drink a little bit.
I guess, but that's not how you get to where you're going.
Well, yeah, it is, because you wait on a boat.
Unless you're Chipito and it never comes.
That's true.
Yeah, and then boat never comes. Okay. I think it's interesting that the game decides to send us back to locations that we've already come from.
Gives it a great finale vibe.
Yeah, like basically we find out that we need the bone wagon.
Bone wagon.
So, and Glottis apparently can't live without driving for a certain amount of time.
Oh yeah, because he's like losing his life force because he's gone so long without touching a car.
But going back and doing the puzzle with the car, it's smart because not only is it a pretty cool little puzzle to get the car de-armed because they basically got it wired, but it also reintroduces you to what will be one of your main villains in what's her name? Olivia, who I ain't gonna lie, I probably would have forgot about her if we didn't go back and reminded me who the heck she was, and it also justifies why she's with you in when you go back to the city. I think it's a cool concept of like, and everything's full circle. We go right back to where you were, and it shows that time has passed because obviously the city's now taken over by Hector. But
I do have a question about the Rubacava like return part. Did anybody actually go around and explore? Is there a way to go and talk to anybody?
Yeah, I support a bit, but I don't think there. You can see Velasco there, and he's mad that you sold his boat for sled dogs.
But there's nobody else?
That's the only person I ran into.
Gotcha. Are you able to go back to like Manny's old place? Because I didn't see that.
Because the elevator was locked.
Gotcha.
Because I tried to go up the elevator. I tried to like look up and see the rated business, but...
Yeah. So I got the impression they tried to give you like an empty feeling town type thing, but I didn't know if that was just because I didn't do the work to go and find people.
Gotcha. No, it's like basically cleared out.
Because also like when you go to the Blue Casket, like no one's in there.
That's true too.
Like no one's in. Like it went from being a packed club to being no one. So
the cops came, man. They raided everything.
Did they raid them too though? Like you don't raid the club next door to the club you raid. Like
he didn't have a reason to raid Manny's club either though. He just lost. He's definitely not on the right side of the law on that.
Exactly. But if you're in our club and you hear the club beside you got raided, you're like, oh crap, we gotta pack up and go.
That's a good point, especially if you just got a bunch of like resistance guys sitting around.
A bunch of communist guys like
crap, back up. And there's a workers' revolution happening at the same time, so it seems like all the dominoes, excuse my pun, were falling. Yeah. Well, I just like how Domino is so caught up in his character that he rigs the bone wagon to explode with a huge set of dominoes.
And they're like, I wonder who could have done this.
That's so Bond villain of him. That's kind of pretty great.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it was like immediately you're like, oh, Domino, this guy.
Also, Glottis got a problem. Lana's got a serious problem.
A drinking problem
He got
and a gambling
serious
problem.
And Manny's not there anymore to watch out for him, so Glada's going to be in the gutter somewhere.
He's going to be giving into the emperor power that he's got. Those younglings.
When you go back to the city and you got to get close to Hector, I liked some of these puzzles, but I think at this point I was kind of ready to get to the final.
Yeah.
Final end game. The puzzle that makes zero sense to me is when you go to the flower shop, because you have to go in, knock the bell thing open, and then back out and go back in. Why the heck does
Because
he all of a sudden like, oh, it's a customer?
Because he was scared, I guess, at first, and then when you come back in, like, he thinks it's a customer because the bell rings. I don't know.
That doesn't make
Maybe
any
he
sense
just
to me.
assumes that if it was Hector that he would have just killed him on the spot and not walked out, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, that one didn't make any sense to me.
But yeah, this is where we meet up with a bunch of the revolutions here. Eva's back, and you can ask her for messages again.
Which is the only reason I cared about her being back.
I did like the line that in the exchange Eva and Manny have. She says, well, we like Meche. She could be useful for the cause. And then Manny just looks at her and goes, she is the cause.
Yeah, that's
I was like, that was a nice little moment there.
It all leads to the reveal that what's her name again?
Olivia. I didn't even put two and two together that was the same person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, until like she started talking, and I was just like, oh, that's the same lady.
The fact that she's like she's in it with Hector, also because it seems like her ticket's been stolen.
Yeah, because she's looking for it.
Yeah, she kills Salvador, and like his head's just in the back seat, which is my favorate thing, because she throws his head back there, and he's like, dramatic... oh no, and then he's like, hey man.
Hola Manuel. That was a collective like gasp, and then just nonstop laughing, like immediately back to back from
because
each other.
He chops that dude in half, and he's relatively fine.
Yeah,
he's just walking around on one arm.
It's like The Walking Dead. He's like shot with plants going on. So we gotta cuff the limbs.
Yeah,
and then he's in a trench coat with a unicycle, and
that's
wonderful.
Great. Also, the return of that little guy from Chapter 2 who's in the city gambling. That's who you throw the
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
Chinchilla Charlie or something like that.
Yeah. I really like the final sequence in this game. The whole the greenhouse on top of the hill.
Really striking imagery.
Yeah, the walk up there as Manny, and I like the fact that Manny's in his Grim Reaper outfit.
Yeah.
That whole sequence is really cool. I like the sequence of Manny after he gets shot. Basically, he does the freeze to stop it from killing him. But as he goes down the hill, like the realization of like what happens after he was supposed to be dead, like she's down there digging through the tickets trying to find hers, which also it looks like she don't have a ticket.
Well, I mean, she killed a guy, so I guess the ticket was like, nope.
Yeah, but
if she had one, it's gone now. You kind of
you can maybe you can devalue your ticket after your actions. I don't know, but I do like also when you get down there, and Salvador does his like dead man switch to take her out. His ticket flies out and lands beside him.
That was.
Which shows that Salvador, he's almost like Salvador shouldn't have even been here, man.
Yeah, it hurt. Oh, but whenever the ticket just flies up beside him, that was like a really moment.
But when you get the gun and you go and did anybody go up there and try to go into the greenhouse before you shoot the?
I did not know.
Okay, I didn't either. I should have done that.
Because I played this game like last week, so I was trying to be fresh on it. So I watched a little bit of the walkthrough before coming in recording, and there was a bit where like it's like a little like noir standoff of you like shooting inside the glass thing, and he's shooting back, and then Mango I think says like, "Oh, I can't get too close."
Oh,
so it was like a little small like gunfight. That's like the equivalent of going up and like. Doing the scythe battle with Domino. Like it's a cool dramatic thing, but like it made me go, man, I wish I kind of saw that on my own.
I do too. Mm-hmm. But when you finally deal with Hector, you finally end Manny's ended it, right? He's got the tickets back, and it's really a cool moment when you're back on the train and you see all the people, that Manny's basically rescued. Like I said, I really do wish, and we kind of talked about this before, that they would have dug deeper into why Manny was even here. But it's a cool ending, and I like the ending at the end where he's sitting in there with Meche, and she's like, "What do you think? We're gonna where are we going? What do you think about it?" And he's like, "I'm not really worried about that. I'm just happy to be here with you and be here, and we'll face whatever it is together."
No one knows what's going to happen at the end of the line, so we might as well enjoy the trip. Is a great final line for Manny.
Probably a really good way to live your life if you think about it.
Exactly.
I mean,
I'm probably the only one here that got kind of emotional when his goodbye to Glottis. I think I'm the only one here because I like Glottis. And I was like, he's like, "Come with me." He's like, I tried to save you, man. He's like, "Manny, you did. I'm free. I can do whatever I want to. I'm not stuck in that stupid place working on just carburetors. I'm here. Like I'm my own man now."
Rationally worshipped.
The true goal of all.
He's like, "I'm a demon. I can't go to the Ninth Underworld. I'm made to be here." So that was I just liked how Manny was like, "Man, I feel bad that I couldn't save you."
I really, like I said, it's a really good line at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, then they drop the shade down and off we go to the Ninth Underworld. But
kind of a noir style ending of them like escaping on a train too.
Yeah,
like it reminds me of the end of North by Northwest, where the characters just like get on the train and just ride into the tunnel at the end.
Very, very good, man. This was a solid pick. I enjoyed it a lot. Final thoughts on the game, Nick?
I thought this was a good game that played pretty terrible, but at the end of the day, the ending kind of made good on a lot of that stuff. And you can make the complaints about the way that the game played, but it's 20 years old, so
yeah,
yeah.
Nick, Michael, final thoughts.
This was a game that was absolutely worth playing just for the story itself. Like, I loved how it wrapped up. I really, really liked the ending. And I liked how this last chapter kind of gave every single side character it's their own ending. Like, there's not a character I'm left wondering, well, what happened to that person and everything? Because I think it tied up everything. Maybe Eva didn't really get an ending, but ultimately, she was just like a very, very minor character. But other than that, I feel like
she's still sitting there with your messages.
A message finally comes in whenever Manny goes to the Ninth Underworld. She's like, "Wait a minute, no, he really wanted this." But yeah, I'm very positive on this game.
What about the creepy birds?
Yeah,
apparently there's more than one.
No, that's Hector. Hector has his own birds
with human heads.
I know.
It's stated human heads. It's not just weird birds.
But
bird logic is not flawed in this game.
But sometimes they deliver just like notes, and sometimes they speak as the person, like a Howler in Harry Potter. Like, it's some weird.
Sometimes you smoke underwater. Like, this game doesn't.
We could pick out like some of the like crazy story stuff, but we'd be here. But that's just ultimately nitpicking, and otherwise like great story. I feel like.
I want to compare this to a game we played recently with Life is Strange, where
same genre, so I think that's
similar. But like when you play both of them, I was not there for the gameplay. I was there for the story.
Mm-hmm.
Life is Strange was a game that I think plays a lot better, but it still gave me the same vibe. I would not play it for the gameplay. It's all about the story. This game, same way. Play it with a guide. It's worth experiencing. I have interest in wondering about going and playing Day of the Tentacle now.
Also, Full Throttle's on there, and that's like that has bikers. Yeah,
but I really, this one really appealed to me, and I really enjoyed this. And that last line of like, no one knows what the ending is. Just it's about the ride and about doing the ride right is a very good sentiment to live by if you need one. Man, it was a good game. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is usually the part of the show where we talk about what our next game is going to be. We're going to do something different. We're going to do a special, limited edition, red-plated vinyl. Nah, that ain't going to be a vinyl. We're going to do a special edition version of the show for the holidays. We're going to do a kind of a holiday special in next episode. Going to talk about a bunch of stuff. Talk about some games of the generation that we really enjoyed. Just going to have a good old time. Going to be a real kind of celebration of the year. Please make sure you join us with that. It's going to be really fun. So next episode, we'll not have a new game. It's just going to be a holiday special. Also, that's past December 10th at that point. So I'll be you'll finally find out if Eric is disappointed by Cyberpunk or not. The question that everyone's been asking. Yeah, man, it's going to be fun. So definitely join us for that. Really appreciate all the feedback we've got for this past episode and all the episodes so far. Make sure that you reach out to us at stateofsave@gmail.com. We would love to read those. We have a Twitter page at stateofsave. That's definitely worth a follow. Go on there. Talk about video games.
Also, since we're going to be discussing our games of the generation next time, write in either on the Twitter or on email. Write in with your games of the generation, and we'll love to read your sentiments on the show. The new consoles are out; they're impossible to get right now. But if you can get one, now's the time to really reflect and look back on all of the fun we've had these past 7 years or so.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it's going to be fun. If you write in, we'll definitely read all that on that limited edition Christmas episode of State of the Save. Thank you guys for joining us. Tell all your friends, do the like, do the subscribe, do all that fun stuff. It helps out. There we go, boys. Another one in the books.
That was a really short one.
Yeah, that was a short one, but it was a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have a good one. Stay safe out there.